Hello, welcome back to this new episode. Like I promised before, in this tutorial we are going to treat how to split a text. Let me assume this I'm expected to split this one into first name, middle name, and last name. But if you look at one of the candidate has 4 names, so I'll try to limit it to only 3 names. So I'll remove this particular third name so that we have 33 names. So to have that, I need an extra columns where I will maintain the first name, middle name, and also the last name. So these 2 columns will suffice. So what the next step is to, after providing your free columns, extra columns, you highlight your data, the data that you want to split. When you click on that, you just click on data, you click on text to column, then you click on next, you select delimited. Delimited is when you want to use a particular character to use it as a splitter. For example, Nura space Bello. What is separating from first name and middle name and last name? Space. So we will choose space now to be our delimiter. If you have comma, let's say first name, comma, second name, comma, third name, for example, then we use comma as our delimiter. That is a character that we are going to use to command Excel to split at that particular section. But when we want to use a particular width, so we use a fixed width. So let's just select the first one. We want to use space, so we just select space. If you want to use comma, you use comma or semicolon depending on your data. If, for example, like in registration number, we have forward slash, but in this time, at least we don't have forward slash, you can click and select forward slash. But this area, we only have space, so we click space. Can you see how it splitted this one into 3? So we go to next. In this one, you have to choose what to do with all the columns. We want them all to return, we just go to finish. But if you don't want, let's say we don't want the last name to appear, we select it and go here and select do not import this column. So it will skip, it will not return the last column. But we want it, we will just apply general to all of it, all of the data, all of the columns. Then we click on finish. By clicking on the finish, it will try to split and push the remaining columns, the names, into the next subsequent available columns. But it senses that we have math column, chemistry column ahead by the right of the table. So it's warning us that if you have any data within D and E, this action will replace it. If you want to do it, you click yes. Okay. So I know there's not any data, so I'll just click okay. It will split it into 3. So I have first name, for example. Let's say last name here. Last name, maybe first name, and middle name. So this is how to split a text. This we have seen how to split a name with a particular, with a defined with a space. So let's try to see how we can split it using forward slash. For using forward slash, we go to data, click on split text to column, We click in this area, we're not going to use space, but we use a forward slash like I explained earlier. You go ahead, it will split the record. But let's try fixed width now. Fixed width, when you click, it will ask you to place the width, the partition. So you go to where you want, you click. You go again, you go to where you want to split, you click. You go to click. So now we have created 4 columns. We click OK. It will ask us, okay, now which one do you want to remove? Let's say I want to remove this NUR. And I say, okay. It will ask me whether I'm sure the area by my right is free. I say, yes, it's free. Okay. So you see, I have the faculty code, the admission year, and the last numbers. But look at what it did. It removed the first 000 because I asked the Excel to treat it as general, meaning as a general. If you are treating it as general in text, in Excel, whenever you write 00 something, it will, if it assumes that one as a text, it will remove the first 00s. But if you want to maintain the 00s, you go there and choose text. So you want it to maintain this component as a text. When you do like this, it will maintain the 00 because it's considering the 00034 as a text, not a number. So this is how to use text to column to split Excel, to split content of an Excel from one cell into multiple cells. So this is how to apply this method to either your to either a particular name. So you can use this one, split your names. If you already have names in full, you want them in separate areas, first name, middle name, last name, so you can apply this one, split all the text. So now, having done this, we want to print now. So just do undo to return my work as back to how it was. I will just remove this area. I have first name, middle name, and also this. I'll remove this maximum, minimum. I will only leave total so that I have a meaningful work that I need to print. But let me hide this one. Maybe I may need it in future. So to print, you just click on File, you select Print. It will try to print. But look at what happened now. We have subject and total, but it's not here. That means we have to change the orientation of our, printing. You can come to this area and select landscape. It will expand, but still some columns are missing. So this brings us to page layout. When you come to page layout, you can use orientation to change it from landscape to portrait. If you select portrait, it will reduce the contents of the data to print. If you look at it, you have some dotted line here. So the moment you try to go to print, preview, and come back, it will create this one telling you this is the demarcation for the first page, second page. If you go to orientation and you click this one, it will shift it. This is the first page and this is second page. Still, this is not how we want it to happen. How are we going to, can you see? How are you going to adjust? To adjust, you can use this area to adjust this one. Can you see now it have included the physics. Before, we don't have physics included. So now, let me try to bring this guy, the ones I just highlight, I hide. This one, yes, it will include physics. I will adjust this one, it will include total. I will adjust this one, it will include total. But the difference is not included, the average is not included. If I try to merge them very close to each other, I may lose some of my text. So the next thing to do is to come to the scale to fit and reduce the percentage. But no matter what you do not go up to 80, because if you will go to up to 80, the text will be too tiny. So instead of going up to 80, you can use this margin to increase the margin. Before we increase the margin, the average wasn't included. So now we go to margin and select if it was like this, where all the two averages are outside the first page. So we go and select the narrow margin. It will include the next average, but still the last one is not there. So we try to reduce this width, the width of the serialization. Voila! Now we have our record. All the columns are included. When we go to print, Control P, and we go to print, Control P, it will include everything. But we are not yet done. We have only 6 columns, 6 rows. If we try to print it, everything will be in one page. That is a good idea. But in a situation where we have the content will exceed the first page, how are we going to print that? Well, now we have 2 pages. When we go there, the first page is here. If we go to the next page, we only have table, no header. So to fix this, you come back to your work, you go to the page layout, you click on print titles. When you click on print title, it will ask you the most important area we're going to talk about now is rows to repeat at the top. You want to select the header to the table. You want it to keep appearing on each page that you printed. So you click on this small, this particular button. It will minimize it. Then you take your cursor and click on the row number. The moment you click on the row number, it will select the header to that row. It will select that particular row. Can you see some dotted line going around? Then you come back, you click this one again, then you click OK. Now it will try to print. Yes, you have this one. You go to the next page. Yeah, you have the header to your table. This is how to format your Excel file to ensure all the data you have is well fitted and you are not going to miss anything during printing. I would like to stop here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you very much.